Okay, the third component of your executive summary, your business plan, your new venture development process, ultimately what's going to be in your presentation, is then the competition. So you've so far defined your product service concept, and you've now also defined how big your market is, and you've worked through that flow chart from market potential down to your company's sales forecast. And now we're going to take a look at, so who is the competition? And when you think about the competition, here's the market that's out there. This is the overall market with all the different players that are in there offering some kind of a product or service in that particular general concept that you're working with. And as you think about that, you're going to stake out some space right here. So this is you. That's your company. As you stake out that space, well, here's company A, and they seem to be fairly unique and separate from you in many ways. Company B has also a pretty good chunk of the market. They brush up against your space a little bit, but again, not directly in it. Over here is company C, and C has some overlap with both A and with your firm. And maybe there's several other small companies right in here. We'll say D, E, and F. And these other companies also bring to the market various competitions in terms of price or various features or warranties or how customer service works and so forth, compatibility with the overall existing framework of how the technology in that particular market space works. And so your space right here has to be defined, and you define your space how it looks relative to or juxtaposed to the other competitors in the market. And probably the best thing you can do when you think about the competition is, having finished up some kind of a general diagram or a conceptual narrative that explains what that looks like, is the best thing to do is what we call a competitive matrix. And in the competitive matrix, you take a look at the firm, and then you list maybe, in this case, we'll list 5 key features, perhaps one of which is price, related to this particular product or service. And then you list Company 1, Company 2, Company 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are the 6 main folks that are out there right now doing something in this particular space. And then, of course, down here is your firm, and you're that 7th entry into the marketplace. Well, a good competitive matrix would say, well, on this particular facet, how does number 1 stack up? Well, number 1 definitely has this, they have that, they don't do this, they don't do this, and their price is very high. Competitor number 2, they have this, they don't have this, they don't have this, they do have feature D, and their price is also fairly high. Company number 3 doesn't have this or this, they do have these 2 features, and their product pricing is kind of medium. Company number 4 has this, they don't have this, they have this, they don't offer feature D, and they also have a fairly medium price. The 5th product or company in the marketplace only offers this feature, nothing else here, but they really do have a very, very low price. And then, of course, there's this 6th competitor out here, and they offer this and this, but they also have somewhat of a high price in the marketplace, very similar to product number 2 or company number 2. And the idea is to then come down and say, well, look, our company does this and this. We also offer feature C. We also do D. So we do the whole range of things, and we also come in at a medium to low price range. And the idea would be that your price stacked against the competition relative to a series of features or functional capabilities makes you look like a really, really good offer. And again, that's the key of what we call your value proposition, which we'll go into next in the offset of your business model. So as you think about your competition, your job is to clearly articulate who those folks are, what they offer, where they're located, how long they've been around, and that you have full knowledge of how they function in the marketplace. And then create a very key feature matrix that would outline not only various functional capabilities and things that are offered to those buyers, but ultimately perhaps the last feature would be price. And that way there's a nice clean grid, very concise, very straightforward, saves you a lot of narrative, and people can look at that very quickly and kind of say, gosh, I can see how you do all the features and you have relatively low to medium price. So there is a low-cost choice out there, but it lacks some of the key functionality. Some of the higher priced items are missing some functions, and even if they had those, they'd be higher priced than we are, and so forth. And that's the key of really establishing what we call your competitive advantage.